If you run a company or manage a team, hiring qualified people quickly can make or break your business. Imagine a position of need going unfilled for weeks or even months because you just can't seem to find the right candidate. When it comes to hiring, Indeed is all you need. Stop struggling to get your job post seen on other job sites. Indeed sponsored jobs help you stand out and hire fast. With sponsored jobs, your post jumps to the top of the page for your relevant candidates so you can reach the people you want faster. This makes a huge difference. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs posted directly on Indeed have 45% more applications than non-sponsored jobs. Plus, there's no monthly subscriptions, no long-term contracts. You only pay for results on your job post. Just in the last minute that I've been talking to you, 23 hires were made on Indeed, according to Indeed data worldwide. Now that is fast. There's no need to wait any longer. Speed up your hiring right now with Indeed. Listeners will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/BWN. Go to Indeed.com/BWN right now to support this podcast. Indeed.com/BWN. Terms and conditions apply.
Are you looking for a new job or want a career change? Look no further than Monster.com. Need a little help standing out? Our expert resume writing services will make sure you shine. Want to brush up on your interview skills? Engage with our AI interview prep tool. Want some advice on negotiating your new salary? Visit our salary tools and extensive library of career advice articles, and you'll have all the tips and tricks you'll need to succeed. Visit Monster.com today and take the first step towards your career. Monster.com. Find your right job fit.
Are we up 42-10 with this crew, or are we down 42-10? I don't know.
Somehow both.
And the thing is, that's whatever you say is not about us, because you are instead insulting Jordan, Beth, and Pit Girl, because we're just the second stringers. We didn't get in till now.
Yeah.
We're like the Chris Paul shot. That's what we are.
That's
See,
right.
that's what I just said.
Yeah.
Before the recording started. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yep. But now Arthur gets.
I made a funny joke about cutting the lead to
Yep.
40.
And now Arthur gets the glory.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, how dare
Should
you.
have hit record.
I was doing it. I wasn't fast enough. So
I
again,
think he was hitting record right as I made the joke about putting up a 3.
This is it's the problem. We're running with the second string crew here, and even though I am the commish, I'm definitely the 4th-string quarterback.
I was gonna say you're the halfback that's taking the snaps now.
I am the emergency quarterback.
Oh, like that during COVID, that one game?
Yes,
Yeah.
against the Saints. Yes.
We've
I
got our
don't
reps
expect
in,
you-
but not all together. And that's the problem.
Don't
I was
expect you to
thinking-
throw the ball.
Was it the Maryland linebacker who was 5th string quarterback?
It feels that way for this show. Like I was like, I can't run the ball. I'm taking just consider me a Wildcat QB.
Commish is a starter, just not a starting quarterback.
No, I'm on the team. Definitely not the starting QB for sure.
I mean, I'm running on 3 hours of sleep, so
I mean, we're all down here. We're down 42-10 in the second quarter, I would say. We're down that bad already because we didn't have our starters, so it's okay.
Pit Girl's entering the portal. She's visiting with other podcasts.
I know. Pit Girl's entering the portal, or considering the portal. She's taking a visit to another podcast.
I mean that's where I was this weekend.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's all happening.
Man, I thought the portal window closed, but I guess
Arthur,
not.
thank you for coming back. It's like Sam Pittman from a couple years ago. You've returned from the wife portal.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I forgot about the wife portal.
I mean, look, it took, I don't know, 4.5, 5 hours on American Airlines, but yeah, I'm back.
Well, they've been having crazy storms all weekend, right?
Yeah, I mean, so the one we had up in Pittsburgh was on Tuesday evening, right?
Yeah.
It hit probably like 5:30, and we actually didn't, like, at my house, we didn't lose power until 6. Like, the storm got through, and we, it flickered enough that, like, in between the storm going through and the power finally going out for good, like, my mom reset the clocks on, like, the microwave and the stove, So we kind of got that false sense of like, oh, okay, well, like it flickered a bit, but we're good. And then probably around like 6 o'clock, after everything had gone through, then it finally went down, and it was down for like 43 hours, I think. And so, I can't edit the podcast if I don't have power. I also can't do the podcast if I don't have power. And actually, I didn't even have like cell service here at the house. I had to go for a walk. Like, even if I wanted to text or call, like, forget data, like I didn't have anything here. And so we finally get that back Thursday afternoon, right when I'm leaving for the airport. So this is the first time I've actually been in front of my regular computer and gotten to use it since editing the show that dropped on Tuesday morning. I edited last episode. I edited it on the plane. So I had like all the like the crying babies, the plane's kind of like bouncing around a little bit, and I'm trying to do it on a trackpad. I mean, I was not going to be precise about any of these edits on that last episode. And you like Commish, sent me, because I wasn't there at the recording. Commish, you sent me like the show recap or whatever that we put with the post.
Yeah.
At no point did anyone tell me that, like, oh, hey, like we're gonna put like what order to put the 2 bits in, because we recorded it in 2 bits, and the way that the files were named, right, there was like podcast file and podcast file continued. If you just look at those file names,
that's Jordan saying that. Yeah,
you would think the continued one would be after the first one, right?
You would think, right?
It wasn't, and I honestly, listening to it, I'm on the plane and I get to the part where it's like, oh, they were trying to do this the other way, and I'm just like, man, I'm on my MacBook Air, which has a much smaller screen. Like, I'm not trying to drag everything around because I can't. Like, like if I'm on my big screen, then it's like, okay, like I can move some stuff around. I can see different tracks. Like, if I'm on the MacBook Air, I'm not doing any of that.
Yeah, I was like, here's the podcast like little blurb that we put for each episode, and I was like, hey, are you okay without power? I mean, like, do you have power or internet? And I was like, is he okay? I was like, we had 2 files for the record, which I didn't name them, so that's not me. But I was like, I think that the David Hale interview actually goes up front better than what we had, which it did. It worked out. It was great.
Well, the other thing that I noticed was once you got to like the end, like you guys all signed off like it was the end of the show. Like when you were doing like the switch from one recording to the other, like you tried to say like, oh, we're going to go back to that and then have this. But when you got to the very end of that recording, which theoretically you would then be throwing to the David Hale interview, like you were just like, yep, like, well, it was Jordan who was like, yep, everybody, like, have a good night. We're done. Podcast is over. So I was like, you know what? I've had enough. I downloaded the files, right? Because we record the podcast. It's on the cloud, right? So I have to download it to get it to my computer to edit it. I used the airport lounge at Pittsburgh International Airport to get the files onto my computer, and then I had to get creative. Is all I'm saying.
You should have just saved it for next time Jordan does a pun thread and then cut to David Hale.
Perfect. That would have been perfect.
Well, I just want to say congratulations to the crew from last week's episode for the podcast record longest cold open.
Yeah.
Second only, or that one was first, and second place is this one because we've been going for 7 minutes.
Yes, we have.
But there was.
And I'm sure Arthur's going to cut out a lot of that. I mean, if he chooses to, unless he wants people to know the trials and tribulations that he's been through.
Well, as the backup or the emergency quarterback, I don't know when to start the show. So I don't have the timing down, but I'll just go ahead and I guess I'll start it now at this point.
Theme song.
Theme song.
I mean, there's nothing saying that we have to say the exact same thing. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like Jordan has a thing he says to start the episode. We could just say like, "Hey, we're live."
What's salutations. Up, y'all? Bienvenue, Sickos Committee Podcast.
It's Sunday. Happy Sunday.
It's Sunday. Happy Sunday.
It's the B team.
Coming to you live from Commish's closet.
All of us are in Commish's closet.
We're all just stuffed in here. You have to let us out. We're running out of air.
You have to let us out. We're all podcasting together. Welcome to the Sickos Committee Podcast. Record for May the 4th be with us. For God's sakes, we're going to need it on this podcast.
May the fourth string podcasters.
May the fourth string podcast host, Commish. I
like the idea of this specific crew being called Commish's Closet. Just anytime you get this group of 5 people together,
you're just digging through the closet looking for podcast hosts.
Hey, I haven't used this host in a while.
You know, they say that if you haven't used a podcast host in a while, that you really need to like separate it in your closet and get rid of it. But
Brigit, we spark joy still.
This Andy is perfect for spring season.
So as we got our we're down a few hosts tonight, so Commish is commandeering the ship, probably in a very bad manner, and may hit some rocks or an iceberg I don't see up ahead. But we wish Jordan well. He's come down with a little bit of the illness this weekend. Also, Beth is stuck in an orchestra pit, which I believe they'll let her out. Eventually they'll let her out. I'm not sure if that's the case, but hopefully she'll return for the Tuesday show. Then also Pit Girl is she's not cheating on us. She's just seeing other people, other podcasts.
She's spreading the word of the Sickos Committee.
She is. She's giving out stickers. You know, you've got an enemy in Pennsylvania. Also spreading the word of the Sickos Committee of really, 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 really large Pennsylvania, big Pennsylvania. So she's there. I am actually joined by Arthur, Big Sky Brigit, our Canadian correspondent Joey, and our corn correspondent Andy.
Yo.
How is everybody this evening?
Canada and corn in the news.
That's right.
I got Joey Canada and Andy on.
Definitely. Corn is in the news. Canada is in the news. The Big Sky is always in the news. And Brigit, how are you this lovely, lovely evening stuck in my closet?
Running out of air. Okay. Wishing I could see the outside because I know it's lovely outside.
There's no window in here, but we're stuck.
Yeah, I mean, it's a closet. It'd be weird if there was a closet with a window.
That'd be nice, though.
Like, I guess maybe a skylight. Skylight would be nice in a closet.
That'll work.
Get a little bit of sunshine in there. If you hear the rain when it comes down.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. How was your weekend?
It was good. We got the garden turned over. We got some things planted. I got some things coming up already. I'm really excited.
All right. Canadian correspondent Joey, how was your weekend?
Hi. My weekend was good. I am in Commish's closet. I am on top of the various bedding supplies he has above his head, and I'm currently tunneling into the ceiling to make a skylight.
Nice. Thank you.
My weekend was good. Watching Formula One, which we'll get to later. And we just I don't know. My dad's moving away, so he gave me and my partner a bunch of his old furniture, so we've been rearranging the whole apartment to try and fit it. So that's been fun.
Crazy. Corn correspondent Andrew.
That's wild.
Wow. Whatever you just said.
Crazy.
Whatever you just said.
Yeah. Hand-me-down furniture. That's crazy.
That's crazy. My segues are great. I can make handoffs, but I cannot throw any passes. Corn correspondent Andrew, tell me about this grilled cheese that you just had on your timeline. I'm very curious about this.
Oh, the cheese Frenchie?
Yes. Tell me more.
Yeah, it's apparently a Nebraska thing. I thought more people would have heard of it. It's at its easiest is you take a grilled cheese sandwich and I guess instead of grilling it, you deep fat fry it, and yeah, it's a fried cheese sandwich. The restaurant I worked at when I was in high school had them, and that's when I first experienced them. My shift meal, basically every time I worked there, would be French cheese Frenchie, whichever you want to call it, and a bowl of chili. And yeah, it was great. And
All right,
I had
that's
it
good.
again tonight. I was playing golf earlier today, and that was my post-golf meal.
How
And
did golf go?
when I messaged you this morning to come on the podcast, you said you were hungover. Was
Oh,
it
God.
because of the barrel-aged Malort?
That helped. It was a combination of barrel-aged and the regular Malort. I
Okay.
had a friend yesterday had a Cinco de Mayo party, but since Cinco de Mayo is on a Monday, we had it on a Saturday.
Cinco Malorto?
Yeah.
Okay.
I drank a lot of Malort, and I was feeling fine last night, but I was not feeling fine this morning.
I was gonna say famous Mexican drink, Malort.
Mm-hmm.
Malortarita.
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah.
Yeah, please don't.
He's got enough already. He's
I'm
already.
sure I've made that.
We'll talk about something that he.
I would be shocked if
discovered.
you hadn't made one.
Yeah. But to answer your question, Joey, to paraphrase Bill C. talking about Kansas football, at least I was outside getting fresh air and exercise.
That's like
It's
my
a
golf game
long
too.
thing to put on the scorecard.
Definitely. A couple snowmen.
A few snowmen, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
There was around the turn, like starting the back nine, after I had my mid-round hot dog, I was really locked in then. But then the hot dog wore off, and I started sucking again. So I need more hot dogs in my
Need
life.
more hot dogs. That's what that's. Golf.
Instead of the beer cart girl, I need a hot dog girl.
Strategic hot dogs, though. Can't
You
Yes.
need the guy in that one episode of The Simpsons where Homer is paying him to walk around and serve him hot dogs whenever
Mhm.
he needs a hot dog.
Absolutely. Yes.
And you can put his kids through college.
While you play golf.
Mhm.
Definitely. Arthur, how are you? I know you had a little bit of adventure in the cold open. Do you have some more stuff to discuss with us?
I mean, I kind of have some stuff that I've thrown onto the show notes here.
Okay. We'll kick it off.
Yeah, so Commish, I just want to ask, since I went to the airport lounge to download the podcast files, and I spotted food in the airport lounge, right? So they have it's like a buffet style, right? Like you go up and there's like a counter and there's various things. There's usually like during there changes during the day, like during breakfast there's something different than lunch and dinner. But they typically they'll have some soups. They'll have a lot of times they have pierogies. I think they just know like, okay, like this is like a Pittsburgh thing. But I noticed this time I was in the airport lounge, they had something they were advertising as chicken Creole gumbo soup. So would you eat chicken Creole gumbo soup from the airport lounge at Pittsburgh International Airport?
That's going to be a no. There's a couple of red flags already in the name for me. Which, again, the words are all out of order. So the chicken Creole, like it should be like Creole chicken gumbo. So that's backwards. And then you added the soup at the end, and I'm like, oh no, like they've done too much already. And just by the name.
How much Velveeta cheese is in there, do you think?
Did you try it?
No, because here's the thing. Usually if I see something and I'm like, okay, especially given that like I'm already in the lounge, so I could help myself. There is something that creeps into my head, which is I'm about to board an airplane.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do anything that's gonna set me back in my journey, so to speak. I had enough of a battle flying home, hungover and, just kind of still feeling the night before. But flying out there, right, I hadn't had power in 2 days. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to test this because, I've had enough things go wrong already this week. The thing about not having power for almost 2 days is like, it messes up a bunch of stuff that you kind of take for granted. Right? Like I have a water pitcher in the fridge, right? Okay, well, the power goes out. I don't want to open the fridge to get water. Even once it hits the point where that stops mattering, I'm still like, still probably shouldn't open the fridge, right? Like no power.
do
And
it.
like there's just all sorts of things that, are like, okay, where are the vegetables? In the fridge. Like, okay, well, like we're not eating vegetables for 2 days. Like that's not great, So I just was like, I'm not gonna test this. I've
One
had enough tests
one
this
thing
week.
I wish you'd did for me is like at least open the lid. I wanted to see what color it was.
Mm-hmm.
That I had some.
I'm guessing pretty white.
And a smell test, like a smell test as well.
Maybe, as Andy suggested, a little on the yellow side, although I would say probably more just dumping a bunch of chicken stock into it rather than Velveeta cheese.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a spot in front of this thing. It looks like red, but I'm like that's a bad sign anyway if it's red. So
Maybe
I don't know.
Maybe that was some hot sauce somebody put on top of it.
Again, that's my rule. Typically, I'm not going to eat gumbo if your state does not touch Louisiana. If you're
I just noticed that
Did you
bowl of
notice
sour
what's
cream
beh-
just sitting out there.
Oh yeah, I was gonna
Just
ask if you specifically,
cream.
Andy, had seen what's behind the Creole.
Oh yeah, the corn
chicken
chowder.
Creole. Yeah, the corn chowder.
So I think the sour cream is at least explainable because of the pierogies that they typically have there. I think that's what that's for.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, so I was flying out. I flew to LA. I've never been to LA before. This was my first time, so it was like cool. I went out there to see a live podcast show that I saw on Saturday night, but that means that I had all of Friday and most of Saturday where I didn't really have any plans. And usually when I like go to a city, I make a bunch of plans and then I end up having to like cut stuff like as the day goes on and things take longer than I budget for them. But it was interesting because usually like the days leading up to the trip or when I'm like looking stuff up, being like, okay, like there's this museum, there's this attraction, this is where they shot this movie. And because I didn't have power, like I wasn't doing any of that. So I was kind of like, I landed, I was like, man, like I don't really know what I'm doing tomorrow. Like I was just like last minute trying to be like shit, what do you do in LA? Like, so I did just the most like touristy stuff that I could find. So I went to Universal Studios. I went to the Santa Monica Pier. I went to like Hollywood where they have all the stars on the ground. And I mostly did like the most basic stuff you could do. So I feel like I got to go back to not to do less basic stuff, if that makes sense.
I mean,
like
LA's a big city. It's
Yeah.
just like you go there and you only had like a few days there, so like LA's a place where you're gonna have to go back and make more trips or spend a much longer time because you're not gonna be able to do it all.
And the thing with LA, I guess Southern California in general, I feel like Southern California, probably of all American cities, was the one that I least like understood the locations conceptually, if that makes sense, right? Like when you talk about like I mean like there are cities I've never set foot in that I understand just based on like sports stuff or like okay, like I know where in relation to the downtown the arena is. Like I've never been to New Orleans, but I know like where Bourbon Street is in New Orleans and there's not a whole lot. Like I feel like Southern California, there's just so many places. Like there's so many like small places within like the whole big thing that people just kind of expect you to know. You know what I mean? Like until this weekend, if you told me like, okay, like I like name an LA neighborhood or like
Nope.
the name of another town in that area.
Nah,
Like I
not
feel
gonna
like
happen.
there's so many that people like, man, I didn't know where in relation to the rest of LA like the Rose Bowl was or
Nope.
the
I don't know.
Rams Stadium or
I have
LA
no
like
idea.
none of that. And so
None of
like I feel like I learned a lot just in that. But I had one moment where I had a big like my mind was blown.
Where did you run into the Minion Cafe?
Universal Studios. That's where they have a whole Minion area there.
Does Universal own Illumination?
Yeah, like I don't know the corporate structure off the top of my head, but I know that Universal Pictures distributes the Minions movies, and also they have a lot of stuff at Universal Studios where they don't have. It's not even Universal because they do like licensing. because not every studio has their own theme park, right? So like there's Harry Potter stuff at Universal. I didn't set foot in the Harry Potter area for certain reasons, but that's there, even though that's like Warner Brothers, just because like there's no Warner Brothers land or Warner Brothers theme park. But I had this like my mind was blown because I wanted to. I was just looking up like places to go, things to do, and I noticed that there's like the Griffith Observatory, and you can hike up, and anything that I see like, oh, like there's a trail you can go up, like that just kind of sets off a light bulb in my head of like, yeah, I should climb that. And so I parked kind of like at the bottom of Griffith Park. I walk up to the observatory, like, okay, like the views are cool. I can see a lot. But then like I'm looking at the map and it's like, okay, there's a higher point than this. So I can keep going. I can get higher. So I climbed to the top of Mount Hollywood. And at the top, they have like, like the signs that are showing you kind of everything you can see like in the view, right? So like you'll see a sign and it'll be like, okay, like here's, you have, right, like this is downtown LA, like this is another LA neighborhood where I don't know them, so I'm not going to be able to rattle them off the top of my head.
So that's cool.
so I'm looking one way, and I'm seeing like all these points of interest. I'm seeing like, oh, like there's USC, and I see like way in the distance there's UCLA, and I'm like, huh, that's interesting. I wonder where the Rose Bowl is. And UCLA, like, it's far enough away that I can barely see it. Like, it was kind of hazy, and it was, like, way in the distance. I was like, wow, like, UCLA is all the way over there. Yeah. And then I'm like, I wonder where the Rose Bowl is. And I'm looking, and I do, like, a full 180. And the Rose Bowl is in the complete, like, opposite direction, also so far away that I, like, can't actually make it out. I can see on the map where they're, like that's where Pasadena is. That's where the Rose Bowl is. Like I can't actually make out UCLA or the Rose Bowl. They're too far away. And that just blew my mind. Like I was like, damn, like I'm at, like a high point. I don't know if it's one of the highest points I think in the city. It was the highest point I could walk up to. And like, I'm so far from both of these things. Like I might be halfway and I can barely see them from, a very high, like I had no idea that UCLA played their game so far away from campus. Like I had no idea. And that just blew my mind.
This was the thing, I can't remember if it was a year ago or a couple years ago, we talked about Troy Aikman's entertainment facility.
Yes.
Because he wanted to build an on-campus stadium for UCLA because nobody from UCLA really goes to UCLA games unless like there's a really good opponent and tickets are cheap and there's good transportation, which there's usually not all three. So that was the thing Troy Aikman wanted to do for the longest time. And there's just no room in LA.
I just mapped it. It's a marathon away.
Yeah.
26.2 miles.
Well, okay. And it's not just 20. So here's the other thing I learned. I always knew that like LA was a city built for cars, a lot of freeways. You do a lot of driving. And I rented a car. I rented a Mercedes CLA.
Because you were going to CLA?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, well, I'm going to CLA. I got to rent a Mercedes CLA.
Brigit is upset with me.
So, so I'm driving around. Like, I knew LA was a car city. I didn't know how much it sucks to drive there.
Yeah,
like,
man.
That's what kind of blew me away. Like everybody's driving, and it like.
Have you never watched the sketch of the Californians?
I've watched. I've seen it. I just like.
Have you never seen like that infamous pic at Christmas where it shows everybody going home on LA, and it's just like 9 lanes each way?
I've seen the pictures, but again, just to experience it, just to be there.
You were wondering what there was to do in you were wondering what there is to do in LA. The answer is get stuck in traffic. That's what you do.
Just one more lane, bro. Just one more lane.
Just one more lane, dude.
One more lane, bro.
One more freeway. We'll make it work.
We'll make it work. That freeway will definitely free everything up.
I mean, the thing that really got me right was I'm used to like here in Pittsburgh, if you have like a major like arterial road, it generally moves pretty fast because you'll have like a lot longer green light than all the cross streets. And right, so like usually the lights are going to be green for you, and like you have to stop at like some lights. LA, man, it feels like there's just a major arterial road like every few blocks. So like there's just like every few blocks, it's like, oh, there's a big ass intersection where there's always going to be traffic from both directions. And I mean, I like
there's a lot of people that live there.
It took me a while to get around, but I mean, it just kind of like I was a tourist. I was on vacation, so it's like, oh, I don't have work to get to. Like I don't have appointments to get to. Like I can handle this. Like I can't. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
Sounds like Arthur needed to escape from LA.
I did. I got a fled.
Moving on. All right, our corn correspondent, Andy.
Yes, sir.
All right, you tagged me into something today.
Yes.
And you said, I'm looking for this already. Please explain what you're looking for. And
yes, apparently I have been given the Sickos committee title of the person who eats weird things, which...
Well, I mean, you know, I did eat a DiGiorno pizza from a vending machine.
Pizza.
I did do that.
I appreciate you doing that in my stead.
Again, I feel like I was the only one that had access to it, so I had to honor you. But what is this thing that you're gonna do?
So I don't know if he's friend of the show or not, but a person I follow on Blue Sky, Earl Carl, he or she, I guess, posted a...
If we say they're a friend of the show, they're a friend of the show.
Okay. Yeah. Friend of the show, Earl Carl, posted a link earlier today. Apparently, Totino's of the pizza roll brand is starting a next level series where I don't know if they're doing multiples or just one, but this is an orange chicken pizza roll. So my assignment for myself this week is I'm going to find it in my nearest grocery store's freezer section, and I will report back on these.
Okay.
This is probably great. I'm not going to lie. This
orange chicken's not my favorite Chinese food. I'm a General So kind of guy, but I'll still go for these. I'll check them out.
I don't know. I'm still kind of like, I'm worried about this because like orange chicken, the sauce that goes with the chicken, I don't know how that's going to be like molten lava. Like, I mean, the pizza's already like that anyway, but like this feels like this is even more dangerous than like
the fact
pizza.
That they have to call it pizza rolls instead of just a little orange chicken pastry is making it sound a lot worse than it is.
Yeah. I don't know, man. This seems
okay.
Well, I'm reading the reviews and it looks like people are having trouble finding them again, so I might have to wait on this, but if I see them,
I just went to the Totino's website, and when I put my zip code in, they said no available retailers. I do like, so I looking up this product, I've noticed how they spell next level. Like they spell it like the WWE NXT, and then also LVL. Like it's I don't know, some Roman numeral something.
Yes.
Ooh, the website does say that my local Hy-Vees carry them, so I could get these.
I will say, in the meantime, I can. There's a new menu item that McDonald's Canada is testing out that I will put it on my to-do list this week. The fish McWrap. I will give that a go this week at some point in your honor.
Okay. The fish McWrap.
It's like the chicken McWrap, but it's fish.
Interesting choice to do this after Lent.
Yeah, weird timing.
I feel like
weird timing.
They probably got leftover fish and they got to get inventive.
Honestly, yeah.
We clearly overbought our filet.
Nobody wants to make fish, but maybe they'll want to make wrap.
You're at the restaurant. It's like, hey man, this fish is about to go bad in 3 days. Really push the fish.
It's literally the Wendy's chili of the McFish.
It genuinely looks like they just cut a fillet of fish in half and put it in a wrap.
That's basically what it is.
I mean, but they are putting marketing budget behind it. I've seen commercials.
I must have got it done.
Does anyone know what something called FaZe Clan is?
I think that's an esports team.
It is an esports
team, right?
Okay.
That's all I know.
One of the oldest.
So I'm looking up these orange chicken pizza rolls, and it looks like when they launched originally, they were branded as something called FaZe Clan.
Oh yeah,
And
I
now
see that picture.
now the branding has changed to Next Level, spelled without vowels. So that might be why I'm having a little bit of difficulty searching for them, because the branding has changed slightly. So maybe that's knocking things out of whack.
Apparently, people are finding bones in them, so at least they're using real chicken.
That's
that's genuinely a good sign, right?
yeah, sure.
I mean, it's a sign.
For the first time ever, you can actually order your pizza boneless. Fuck you mean boneless pizza? You gonna put bones in it?
Okay. So I pulled up the orange chicken pizza rolls page on Walmart's website, and the first option under add to cart is, do I want to subscribe to orange chicken pizza rolls?
Like,
Everything's a subscription
everything's
model.
a fucking subscription now. Subscribe to our Patreon. But
If I want this,
We
I
won't
have to
put
drive
bones
out to
we will not put
North
bones in your
Sales.
pizza.
Can I get this podcast boneless?
Boneless podcast.
I think that's what it is tonight.
That seems that way. All right. We actually had some history set right before we started podcasting. This has never happened before in all of Major League Soccer. With their 1-0 win tonight, Sporting KC became the first team in MLS history to win a game without attempting a single shot in the contest.
And I watched the highlights before we started here.
Yeah,
They didn't attempt a single shot.
they didn't.
They
do
won
it.
1-0.
Yeah,
Good for them.
You may wonder how this happened. They scored an own goal in the 13th minute.
Oh man, so 77 more minutes of just nothing.
It was a pass to the middle. Like, again, when I saw this, I thought, oh, maybe that's a shot attempt that went off a defender.
No.
No, it was a pass that a defender just put in his own net.
Yeah.
Like, absolute clinical finishing. And then you say nothing happened. No, what happened after that was LA put 11 shots on him, and the goalie saved all of them.
Yeah. This is something that has never happened before, ever. There's been an MLS Cup where there was no shots on target by the Seattle Sounders in 2016, and they wound up winning that in penalties. There was...
I know who that was against.
Yes. So...
I watched that one live.
Uh-huh. I did too, and then I greeted the plane, and I went to the parade, and it was fantastic.
Yeah, I'm looking at the goal right now that they got, their own goal-wise. I'm going to post it in the chat. This is clinical finishing by the Galaxy defense. This is, basically they passed it, and it's now somehow a goal. he was crossing. He was trying to cross it, and their own defender just basically hit it in. So he couldn't handle the own cross. So yeah, this is something that just rarely never happens, and the first time ever happened in MLS. The Galaxy.
Sorry, I was just gonna say the good way to tell when something in a sport we don't usually cover is going absolutely haywire is when we get 10 pings about it on Blue Sky and Twitter.
Yeah, it's like, hey man, you gotta see this, man.
You gotta see this MLS play. If someone tells us you gotta see this MLS play, we are locked in.
So I mean, this is look, LA had 11 total shots. They had an expected goals of 1.26. They possessed the ball for 72% of the time. Casey only had it 28%. And basically they had a centering pass where a defender kicked it in. So I mean, this is something that is incredibly sickos. And again, if something like this happens and then we bring attention to it, or because everybody's like, look at this, sickos, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love this. And we do love it. The stats are just incredible. I mean, I can't. LA had 12 corners. They had 11 shots. They only had one shot on target. They hit the woodwork once. They had 7 shots inside the box. They had 3 big chances. They missed all 3. Like KC had one corner, and that was it. KC only. It's just their passes were only at 77% accuracy, but the one that was like I guess kind of accurate went off the other team. Oh my god. What a blast. This reminded me of something that happened in the Premier League too, because we got tagged in by our friend Men in Blazers, our friends, Men in Blazers, which they are kind of they watch all the soccer and they get all the highlights, but there were 2 games between that featured all the already relegated teams from the Premier League, and a referee got bumped and fouled by another person. And then so the player, Jamie Vardy, decided to blow the whistle to stop the play for the referee, which I don't know if you've seen this or not. This was incredible. I don't know if you caught this. This one kind of caught fire.
I did see that.
On Blue Sky, which is just like, and then they interviewed him after the game. Jamie Vardy was just like, hey, it seemed like the other team was going to, running down the field to catch a break. And I was like, no, we can't have this with the referee down. This is not like the WWE, right? So he just basically, he blew the whistle to stop the play. So
Yeah, this was a very good bit. Again, peak Sickos Committee soccer, because again, the window, like the noon window of the Premier League that day,
yeah,
as you said, was 2 relegated teams.
Yes.
And then 1 relegated team against a team who was, as you said, a vaguely disappointing season for them.
Well, I mean, I feel like Everton, I didn't say that was disappointing, so that was the Jordan, but I'm just saying, like, Everton's above Man City and Tottenham. Man United and Tottenham. So they've had a pretty good year. They've been fighting relegation. They had a pretty good, solid year by their standards, I would say that. But they were still 14th in the table.
Mm-hmm.
But it was funny. It was Everton and then Ipswich, Leicester, and Southampton. 3 of those have already been relegated, and there's still like 4 games or like 3 games to go in the season.
Since you're in Jordan's shoes here, I am contractually obligated to say Leicester?
Leicester, sorry. Is that better?
There we go.
Leicester City?
Worcester City.
Mm-hmm. Worcester, Mass. That's how you say it, right?
Yeah.
Definitely. Okay. So, I have to just bring this to, this is the second string, I'm curious. Do we want to talk about the Belichick and Jordan situation anymore on the podcast?
I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen updates. Like, that's one cool thing about like traveling and doing all this stuff is the way you communicate with the internet changes, right? Like I've gone from like, I'm reading all your posts to like, I'm just getting off a pic of me in front of Nakatomi Plaza and then logging off.
Yes.
So I haven't seen any of this.
Okay. Well, I mean, there was some more stuff like Belichick's trying to enlist help. There's like more stuff. Like it's got picked up by the mainstream, and it's like it's getting TMZ coverage. It's getting other coverage, and I'm like, as the committee, I'm just like, I think this is kind of out of our realm now.
It's too messy. Like there was mess, now it's messy.
I think that it is fine to continue covering when something happens in our lane.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bill Belichick hiring representation, not in our lane.
Yeah.
Jordan posting strawberry lobster in our lane.
That's in our lane, yes. The Stropster.
So, the Stropster. Sorry, my bad. The Stropster.
Yes.
We just have we can't be breathlessly the Jordan report. But when something does happen that's in our lane, so he is still a college head coach. We have to remember.
We did a logo of like when Belichick picked up Jordan in the air.
I like Jordan,
and then we kind of flipped it. It was like Jordan it or Air Jordan. Either way, it could have been done. But I was like, I felt like that was enough. I feel like I'm kind of like it's not in
peak right there.
I was just like, yeah, we're gonna stop. Like it's. We'll keep an eye on it. We're not gonna completely ignore it, but we're not gonna be breathlessly covering every little thing.
Mm-hmm.
At
It's
this
the
point.
Idris Elba thing. It's sit back and observe. Not everything needs a reaction.
Yep.
Yeah.
The more I learn, the less I want to know. So I'd like to learn less.
Yeah, there's more I like discovered. I mean, something like the previous ex-boyfriend of Jordan was in his 60s already, and so I was like, okay, that's enough. I'm out. I don't need to more. I don't need to. I don't need to have somebody tag me in a TMZ headline from 2024. I'm done. I'm out. So like, I just want to tap out. If it comes back into our lane, we'll touch it. But for now, no.
When Jordan becomes the special teams coach, we'll get back in.
If Jordan has, one of those different colored UNC hoodies, and she's sending in signals to,
when she's wearing the puffy jacket.
I mean, if Jordan gets her own puffy jacket, we're there.
When Jordan starts wearing home field apparel,
we'll be
Jordan,
there.
use our code. Yes, ha ha ha. Yes, that's 3 ha's.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow us, Jordan. It's okay. You
Don't
appreciate
be
our Straubstar comment. So, I wanted to do something that's a little bit, I guess, kind of college football nerdy a little bit here. Our friend of the show, Bill Connolly, did something on ESPN Plus. I don't know if you just subscribe to it, but he broke down analytically like who the most luckiest team was last year in 2024. And there was a couple of different factors that he had. He had the expected turnover margin, the win expectancy ratings, and then like lineup consistency. And like all three of those things, the top two teams based out of all three of those things, the luckiest team was Penn State last year. And the second luckiest team was Indiana based off of those ratings. So this was something that probably like Beth and Pete Carroll would love. Penn State lucky. So can any of you act like Beth and Pete Carroll, like, just being mad at Penn State?
I fucking knew it. There.
Okay.
That's all I got.
That was good. Any
That's
other?
how James Franklin keeps making it into the playoff. Doesn't have any actual skill. He just keeps getting lucky.
That's good. Brigit, do you have a shot or no?
I will take the beleaguered Pitt fan
Okay.
stance and just say, what else can you expect? Not just from the media, but from everyone who covers Penn State. It's Penn State.
Arthur, you got something? An actual Pitt fan?
I mean, I think this just shows that they should extend him. If
Extend James
these
Franklin?
kind of results,
Another
big contract extension,
lifetime contract, right? He's earned it.
I mean, I don't think lifetime is long enough.
Build the statue now.
Oh, I don't know. They don't have a great track record with statues.
Good point.
I was gonna say.
Good point. Let's hold off on the statue.
You just gotta sign him to like a 3 lifetime contract.
No, what they do is they sign him to a lifetime minus 1 year contract, and then 1 year, James Franklin goes to the office and goes, "Hey, your contract's not extended for this year," and then he knows he's got 1 year left to live.
Oh shit!
Oh my God.
We were talking about Final Destination the other day in a group chat. And now I'm thinking about it.
Wait, would you tell like James Franklin that anyway to see if he would coach any differently and go for it more on fourth down?
Ooh, he would go for it less.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
You think he would go for it? Like he'd play it safe?
He would play. I only got 1 year left. I gotta be true to myself.
He would do it for the legacy because you don't want to go out crazy in the final year because that's the one that people are going to remember. They're not going to remember all the years of consistency and luck before that. They're just going to remember the year when he went crazy with it and ran fake punts on
James YOLO Franklin.
Mm-hmm.
James YOLO Franklin.
The Wolfman.
He went full frames. Yeah.
So, just a couple of different things that I noted here, which was kind of, some of this stuff was really funny to me. Like teams that had really high expected turnover margin. So James Madison was number 1, which I remember them beating North Carolina 70-50, and they got all those turnovers in that second quarter, which was incredible. Indiana, of course, made the playoff. Clemson made the playoff. Number 4, Ball State. Ball State.
That's not good. That's not good, guys.
I mean, the difference in turnovers. Just like, then you had USC, San Jose State, again, Iowa State, Vanderbilt, Baylor, Sam Houston. That's the top 10. The bottom 10, the worst expected turnover margin: Southern Miss, Houston, Charlotte, Ohio. Ohio won the MAC, right?
Yep, and
They
I was
did,
going to say Tim Albin is going from Ohio to Charlotte.
Yeah, I know.
Familiar territory.
Hopefully that luck goes with him. I don't know. New Mexico, Central Michigan, Florida State, TCU, Akron, Auburn, Texas State round out the bottom 10 there in expected turnover margin.
At least Florida State can take away that they're not the bottom in something.
That's
last
true.
year.
Again,
They're
Florida State,
one bright spot. They weren't the unluckiest team.
they were 128th in expected turnover margin, so they had better. Just for reference, a couple of our schools that we follow. I don't know why I copied Syracuse in here, but Syracuse was 29th, Pitt was 30th, Nebraska was 71st, Washington 72nd, and ULM mentioned 103rd, 103. My favorite one here is the win expectancy difference, which is like, hey, whatever this number is, it says you probably should have had less wins here. So the top team is Arkansas State, ULM's hated rival that always seems to beat them. Arkansas State finished 8-5. Their win expectancy difference was +4, so they should have been 4-8, probably 4-9. They would have made the bowl game, but
And that right there, like, I feel like their coaching situation, if they do only win 4 games, like, they probably have a different coach now. So that's pivotal.
That's crazy. Like, that difference there. Iowa State was 11-3. They should have probably lost 3 more games and finished 8-5, likely. Texas Tech was 8-5. Probably, again, probably should have been 5-7, according to these stats by Bill C. Sam Houston was 10-3. Probably should have been 8-5. Missouri the same way. Syracuse the same way. Michigan, it should have been 6-6, so to speak. Memphis 11-2. They probably should have been 9-4. Georgia Southern should have been like 6-7. In Illinois 10-3. Probably again 8-5 there. Vandy was there at 11, basically tied with Illinois. The unluckiest teams, with the win expectancy difference, number 134 Auburn.
You truly hate to see that. You
do.
It just hurts your heart to see Auburn at the bottom.
It's funny because the former head coach of Auburn was right above them in 133, Gus Malzahn, UCF.
And we're not talking like this team. It's funny how different the top and the bottom is as far as the number, because UCF, you should have been like maybe 6-6.
He probably should have. Like Ole Miss, 125. They were 10-3. They probably should have had another win there. Miami again too, 123. Probably should have had another win there. But Miami just didn't seem to play defense. Just our folks that we tracked at the previous time. I didn't do Syracuse again this time, but ULM was 36th. They probably should have had. They had, I think, one more win than they should have. So they should have been.
I do wonder how much that these types of stats are buoyed a little bit by the destruction of UAB.
Yeah, Nebraska was 7-6, 82nd. Pitt was 7-6, 94. Basically, almost the same as Nebraska, and the Washington Huskies, which were 130th, which you were there. They were 6-7. They probably should have had about 2 more wins. Brigit,
yes, they should.
About right? Yeah,
that feels accurate.
Okay,
but given where the team was this year, I was fine with 6-7. We've had much worse, and in recent memory.
And then the final thing that Bill C broke down was lineup consistency. So number 1 was Penn State, as we discussed. Indiana was number 2. Rutgers was number 3. Texas number 4. Toledo 5. Tennessee 6. Oregon 7. Oregon was tied at 7 with East Carolina and Purdue at 111.
Listen, if
Purdue
there's one
absolutely
thing,
refusing to try something different.
right? Exactly. There's one thing you could say for last year's Purdue season: they were consistent. What were they
Yes.
consistent in? Stop asking questions.
Oh my god. The teams that had the least lineup consistency, Middle Tennessee, who was 3-9, Kent State, 0-12. That was probably due to the fact that they lost everybody in that Tennessee game. Like they got hurt, they didn't take the running clock, and they lost a lot of folks there. Florida was 132nd. FAU 131, North Texas, and North Texas, Oklahoma, and Utah were all tied for 128. I think Utah was just all Cam Rising. Was he going to play or not? No, I know Oklahoma was down to like their 10th string wide receiver at one point last year, but they still beat Alabama. The funny thing here is Pittsburgh was tied for 57. Washington was 64th. Then all tied at 77. Right in the middle of all this, Nebraska, NIU, NC State, ULM, and Akron. All tied at the same spot with their injury consistency. I love looking at stuff like this because in the offseason, like you just look at it like, okay, who actually was really lucky or who was completely unlucky? And I mean, the funny thing for me, again, seeing Ball State in the top 5 of expected turnover margin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is Ball State? What are you doing up here? Like, I want to make like the clown meme of like JMU, Indiana, Clemson, Ball State. Like, what, line up there. Funny thing, JMU's number 1, but they still lost to ULM. So
Interesting.
that was interesting, right? Definitely. ULM mentioned.
And
All
we will
right.
continue to.
That's right.
Forever and ever.
Time to get to the podcast business ads and whatnot of this podcast that I don't know what I'm doing here as the host. Subscribe to our Beehive, our Beehive. It is free. It is free. Brigit, Big Sky Brigit just did an amazing photo blog of all 18 games she attended at Starch Madness, and it was. I mean, these photos that she had, incredible quality, just like high definition. I mean, I don't even know the photography words for this. Like these are probably some of the best pictures I've ever seen taken. I mean, she's got block shots and they're shooting threes from like different angles. You have Northern Colorado's mascot Claus doing a headstand split. You got Victory Viking or whatever. I think it's Victory Viking that is dragging Joe Vandal on a sled in the stands for some odd reason. I have no idea why that was going on. A lot of
They had a
mascot
bunch of stuff in the back, like that they were giving away to people who made
Yeah.
like shots for like half court shots,
Yes,
like in between, like in the commercial breaks and stuff. So you could win stuff from Shields, which is like a local outdoorsy chain. And the mascots would just randomly go and steal stuff, like the little what do you call those things that like you like wiggle your butt and you move and it's got a steering wheel?
It was
One of those. They got the sleds.
They got like there was something called like the roller racer, which was something that I had growing up. It's like it's wheels and
it's literally that thing. Yeah, it's just
and then you
it's a
start
little
to
like
go,
scooter,
but it takes you
like,
forever to go.
you get the momentum going.
Yeah,
And yeah, they had a
It was
bunch of
one of
those,
those.
so they would just randomly steal those. No yaks this year to send Monty down in, but
no kayaks.
we had some fun with the mascots as well.
That's fun.
If that's all you're here for.
Yeah, and she also took some great photos of the game action, which was fantastic. And she got the cutting down of the nets of her Montana State women winning the Starch Madness on the putback layup there, which also I think it was like Monty as Fries, and then Monty playing Louis the Lumberjack.
Yep.
In a game of 1-on-1, and then taking on kids too.
And with children, yeah.
Yeah, it's always fun. Check our link tree in our Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky profiles. We have various discounts. We got discounts on like Dungeons and Dragons dice, like video equipment. We have like coffee, tea. There's like a liquor subscription or like one of those like butcher box things that are there. Also, some crazy cool, training exercise things called wear bands. Check that out. It's a rotating various thing, and we hate bothering you with that, but just go ahead and click it. We got a whole bunch of discounts that are always rotating there. Join our Patreon and Discord. You get to participate in the weekly rankings debate during the season, a live chat during games in the season, whatever that's going on right now, including the double OT game. How's that going, Joey?
The screen where I could theoretically watch it is in the other room.
Okay.
It's still tied 3-3 with 7 minutes left in second
in
overtime.
double OT. That is the Winnipeg Jets and the St. Louis Blues. And Arthur, what about the NBA Game 7 right now?
I'll tell you in 18.7 seconds.
Oh,
We'll see. The Rockets could make up a 17-point deficit. So
huge three.
Oh, yep, there we go. There's a 3. They're only going to lose by 14.
Sweet. Just like us.
That's right. We got a whole bunch of podcasts behind the paywall too. Commish's Corner, yes, yes. The Prairie View Chronicles, along with the series that I just did with Roger Sherman about the 34-game losing streak of Northwestern. Go ahead and give a look at our merch store. We did stock up the acrylic stands that we had there before these tariffs went into effect. So we have some in stock. Get them while they're hot. It's a limited stock. You got to go ahead and do that. We have a whole bunch of "Oh no, disaster" and "Linear time was a mistake" shirts, koozies, magnets, wine glasses, whatever you want. Trucker hats. We got all that stuff. Go ahead and subscribe to our Sickos YouTube. We got videos now. We have the video series that we were doing with the journeyman coaches. We had one episode of Bart Andrews, second episode of Brian Van Gorder, and then going up Monday night, if you want to go and check that out, we have June Jones, who is the most journeyman of all journeymen so far, approaching, I think, 44,000 miles traveled in between stops. So basically, June Jones has almost gone around the world twice just to coach football. So that's incredible. So give it a check out. Check that out. Brigit put the slideshows together. I did the audio. My lovely dulcet tones. That sounded weird, but
No, it's okay. It makes the editing part fun because I'm like, you're just having fun with it. You can tell you're just having fun with it.
I'm just having fun.
Did you do the audio or did Corvallis Love do the audio?
Maybe I'll do that one. I probably should have did the one Corvallis Love voice for Dennis Erickson, who's going to be the next one coming up, because he did coach at Oregon State. So I maybe need to re-record that Oregon State part, and you can throw that in there, Brigit.
Yeah, just hit me with a little Corvallis Love at some point. Okay, and I'll just stitch that in.
And then after his stint with the Seahawks, he went on down to Corvallis. And beat the shit out of Notre Dame in the Fiesta Bowl. That's Dennis Erickson, folks. But subscribe to our YouTube. It's totally free. Watch the videos. We have ads now. It's fine. We're making like $4. It's like $4 a month. It's perfect. Just go ahead and subscribe. It's great. It helps every little bit. We're just slowly building this to try to do this full time. So anything you can do to help is great. Follow the Instagram, which, again, give us a follow. Do that. Twitch, which Joey, Arthur.
Speaking of $4 a month, we're getting around that from the Twitch as well.
Woo!
Thank you to everyone who's used. By the way, if you have Amazon Prime, and you don't watch Twitch too often, you get a free Twitch subscription to any channel of your choice with Amazon Prime. Feel free to check out what we do when we do hop on Twitch. We'll be doing it more and more as the off season gets longer and longer. And I know Arthur did an iRacing test stream the other day. Brigit and Arthur and I did the draft streams during the NFL draft, which wasn't NFL draft. Don't worry about it.
We drafted more important things.
Yeah,
like regional grocery stores, which
gas stations, one-hit wonders.
I did great on those, considering I haven't been to America in a year.
Well, I mean, the last time was the last time that you've been in America the MAC championship game.
Yes, I fear I may be on a list.
That is suspicious activity.
That was.
Yeah.
You
They
get
did.
stopped
They
by
did
Border
stop
Patrol.
you, and they're like, "Why are you going?"
They searched my trunk.
Like this.
I had a hockey bag in my trunk, and they searched it. I assume they were thinking I was bringing illegal pills or Sickos committee football content over the border, which is now tariffed, I'm sure. But yeah, I was supposed to go to Dallas in like a month, and I canceled that just for gestures vaguely.
Beepity beady 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 beady. Breaking news. Jets with the victory.
Do they do that?
Winnipeg's.
Do they do that for the hockey team as well?
Yes.
I know that's like a football thing.
No, they don't.
I have not seen them do that, but they should.
Go
They should.
Thrashers. Go Thrashers.
Yeah.
Go
Thrashers may be coming back next year, by the way.
Oh my god.
Kevin Weeks is trying to get a team.
Imagine Fireman Ed having to travel to Winnipeg.
Fireman.
We try and drive there. Not realizing how far it is.
Oh my god.
Did we plug everything we need to plug? Home field apparel. I don't think we plugged that.
Home field apparel.
Home
Home
field
field
apparel.
apparel. Use the code yes. Ha ha ha. Yes. That's 3 ha's. 3 ha's. You got.
We're not a video podcast, but I'm wearing a home field apparel shirt. Just imagine I'm modeling it, looking sexy,
Oh, totally
looking
doing
cool.
that. I am wearing the Campbell Camels.
I'm wearing the UW crew.
Property of Washington. Oh my god, there's 2 Washington things here.
It's the month of May, so I'm wearing
Big Ten represent.
I'm wearing the IndyCar. I'm wearing the IndyCar shirt because it's the month of May.
Arthur is totally he's got on a Minions hat, so that's definitely home field apparel.
Surprisingly, it's not. They don't have the Minions license yet.
They don't have the Minions license?
Is there? Do the Minions have an alma mater? I've never actually seen a Minions like movie. I feel like I'm pro Minions now that I know they're French. I learned that they were French when they were in the opening ceremony for the Olympics.
Do we need like a new movie? Like there was Monsters University. Now it needs to be Minions University.
I feel like the Minions are college educated. I don't know. Like I said, I've never seen the movies.
It says here the Minions did not attend a traditional college. This is AI from Google. In the Despicable Me movies, the Minions appear to be naturally evolved yellow creatures rather than being trained or educated in a specific institution.
Oh,
So,
the Minions are
Michigan State.
autodidacts. All right.
Michigan State.
That feels canonically correct.
Amazing. What a comeback by Winnipeg. Give a shout out to the Golden State Warriors who took out the Rockets also in Game 7. So,
did we do Message Board Geniuses?
Oh yeah, plug the Message Board Geniuses podcast. It's a lot of fun. There is a lot of they've been on the North Carolina message board a little bit.
Wonder why.
I don't know.
Can't imagine what's going on over there.
Can't imagine what's going
There's
on
some
there.
recruiting news.
Yeah. So, recruiting news. Speaking of recruiting, Dabo has been recruiting a power forward from the Clemson basketball team, and he's going to get him to convert to tight end.
He's getting that taste of the transfer portal. Now he's hooked.
He's hooked. He's like,
I can transfer from anywhere. There's no limit.
Right, yeah, he's
there's
like,
no limit. Dabo got a little bit of transfer portal in him. He's like, hey, man, I can convert you to a tight end. Come on, join the Tigers, folks.
Dabo just got off the phone with the entire Carolina Hurricanes roster. He's like, I think I can make you guys all kickers.
They need somebody to block for the Kings. It's incredible. So it is the Clemson football coach Dabo Swinney had joked with Ian Shefflin that the 6'8" power forward for the Tigers men basketball team would make an excellent tight end, but Shefflin assumed it was all in good fun. 2 weeks ago, however, he got a call from Swinney with a serious offer. Spend the next 6 months with Tigers football, the Tigers football team, and see what happens. Shefflin announced on Instagram on Friday that he has taken Swinney up on the offer, foregoing any pro basketball prospects for now in favor of one last season in a Clemson jersey, this time on the gridiron instead of the hardwood.
Close enough. Welcome back, Chris Manhertz, the only NFL player from Canisius. You may notice that they haven't had a football team since 1910. That's because he was on their basketball team, and then the Bills' Rex Ryan invited him to training camp.
This story is kind of ridiculous to me. It's also from our friend David Hale, who was on the podcast last time, which we got a lot of publicity for interviewing David. We wound up in the Houston Chronicle. We wound up in awful announcing. Like, we don't normally get into awful announcing too often in the off season, which is pretty funny for us. And they took his quote from our interview with him and they put that in the article, which is incredible. But David said that he was joking, and like Shefflin said, he'd just been training for basketball, getting ready for the next level. I was like trying to get ready to prepare for potentially playing in the G League or maybe going overseas. But like Dabo said, like, come on over to the football team. And they basically recruited their own power forward to come join the football team. He was trying to get a 5th-year eligibility for basketball, but I guess that doesn't matter because you could just go play football. I don't know how this stuff works.
Yeah, it's the Brandon Whedon thing. It doesn't matter how many years you've played in a sport. You can go play a different sport, I think.
So could you do that forever? Like in perpetuity?
Who was the basketball player that... Oh, J.R. Smith. He went back and played golf, like college golf, after he had been in the NBA for like 20 years.
That's right. J.R. Smith did do that. He would. I forgot what school J.R. Smith went to. It was an
NCAA, I think.
North Carolina A&T?
Yeah.
Yeah, he went to like be on the golf team. He couldn't go back to play basketball. But that's crazy. I'm curious if this is gonna work.
I mean, it worked for Antonio Gates.
It did. I mean, like,
because
Jimmy
that was
Graham
all that they would talk about with him.
Jimmy Graham kind of did that with Miami, and he had a pretty solid career with the Saints. I don't know what happened to them after that. You know, he disappeared from the Saints, and then he came back like many years later. I had no idea what happened. But yeah, this is going to be kind of interesting to me. I want to see if it works out. But I mean, like a 6'8" tight end, and he's not a small dude whatsoever. He's not, like, he's got some beef on him. So I think Dabo was even talking about making him a defensive end, maybe a little Julius Peppers action. Crazy. So last year we had, or was it like 2 years ago, 2023, I believe, there was an issue with Iowa State betting. That case is finally come to fruition. The NCAA disciplined 5 Iowa State staffers for sports gambling. I really don't, want to get into the details of it. The staff members that got in trouble for current or former Iowa State football support staff and members, they made more than 6,200 online bets, totaling more than $100,000 on professional and college games, including men's and women's basketball games involving the Cyclones. That feels like a lot of bets. I don't bet. That just feels like a lot. Is that a lot?
I mean, depends on the volume of individual bets, I guess.
I mean,
like,
this
could be a lot of $2 bets and then one big one.
I was going to say 6,200 bets sounds like a lot.
It does.
$100,000, like, for me personally, that's a lot to bet.
Yeah.
But that doesn't seem like a lot in the aggregate.
Sorry, what's the time frame this 6,200 bets is
It
over?
didn't give us like an exact time frame of how long they were betting. But like 6,200 bets, if you divide it by 365 days, that's about 17 bets a day.
As someone who works in a casino that has a sports book, it's not impossible.
No, it's very doable. You just have to be very locked in.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily something that I would encourage. Yeah.
A lot of same game parlays that overlap a little bit.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, that averages to about $16 a bet. So it's
nothing too crazy, but like,
right. But in the, like we said, like in the aggregate, like,
yeah. So if you divide the 17 bets, it's about 3.4 bets per person per day, which, I mean, 3 bets a day
that's nothing.
You got to remember that it's not 3 bets a day because it's specifically on Cyclones games, which they did not play every day.
No.
Well,
no, it says including. It didn't say exclusively including.
Oh, I thought it was including the men's and the women's team.
Well,
This
because it
is
says professional games too.
Yeah,
I see. Okay.
I mean Iowa State is.
That was a poor reading on my account, and I will take accountability and apologize and mute myself for the next minute.
Joey's in the
Do your
box.
penance. Yeah.
Joey put himself in the penalty box after the Winnipeg Jets with an incredible comeback on the St. Louis Blues. One thing I just wanted to mention here, like I really don't care about the transfer portal too much, but I love the names of these two players. It says both Tiger and Bear Bachmeier have committed to transfer to BYU from Stanford. They told ESPN on Saturday. Bear Bachmeier is a blue chip QB from the class of 2025 who spent the spring at Stanford and had offers from Oregon, Michigan, and Notre Dame out of high school. Tiger is expected to be an immediate contributor in the BYU wide receiver rotation as he caught 46 balls for 476 yards over 2 seasons at Stanford. They are the younger brothers of Hank Bachmeier, the former QB at Boise State, La Tech, and Wake Forest. So just basically headline it says Tiger and Bear to be Cougars, I guess. Which why does Hank just get like Hank and then the other like his siblings get like Tiger and Bear?
So the thing you mentioned about Tiger and Bear becoming Cougars, this is actually something I've been talking about with some friends recently about how if you don't follow sports and you just open up the sports page on any like newspaper website, it's got to seem like such a world of fantasy. Like Wizards and Raptors depend on lottery for future. Fantastic.
Is there a lion Bachmeier?
I gotta look at the family.
Said with the same like intonation as is there a Mrs. Bachmeier? Is there a lion Bachmeier?
Bachmeier brothers. Let's go ahead and do this. So Hank Bachmeier, he's the oldest of 5 siblings. He has a sister and 3 brothers. His younger brothers, Tiger and Bear Bachmeier, play for BYU. What are the rest of the? I gotta see the rest of the family. Like, give me the rest of the family. Like, what?
If I may, just to talk about while you're looking it up.
Yeah.
Just some headlines from a generic like sports aggregator. Warriors flying past Rockets to close out on the road. Can you beat the Pirates?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Typically, yes.
guaranteed. Yes.
Commanders prepare for return for draft.
Mm.
That could be in a different section of this news site soon. Yeah. So
You're just looking at the teen roast, but for sports. So you open it up and you're just looking at Chris. Chad.
The funny thing is if you look at the original of that, it's about the same level of
it's 100.
ridiculousness.
Like you posted the same, and I'm like, I'm still not certain that.
Yeah, that's what I said too.
Oh,
I'm like, you could put any people on there, and I would believe you.
I don't get this. Like Hank Bachmeier, parents' name Michael and April. Normal names, I would say, right?
Mm-hmm.
One is
They
a
got
month,
bored.
but fine. Then you get Hank, and then they start getting adventurous.
Listen, some
with the
people
name.
just want to get crazy with it after like 2 or 3 kids. You just
Yeah,
just
they
get
got
crazy.
bored.
Yeah.
He's the oldest, so Hank is the oldest, and then like they lost their mind after the second one. I think.
I mean, listen, who among us hasn't lost their mind after their second
I'm on
kid?
number 2, and yeah,
My mom
I
had 4. There's
Yeah.
a reason she was crazy.
There's a certain point with the kids. It's just like, yeah, I'm done.
Yeah. My grandma had 6, and you can just like see her getting progressively crazier with the names for like the 40s and 50s, but you know.
That's crazy. There's a sister and 3 brothers. Okay, I wonder if there's gonna be like another brother coming up, and it could be Lion Bachmeier. I don't know.
Oh my.
Oh my. Lion, Tiger, and Bear Bachmeier.
Oh my.
Oh my. That's right. The Wizard of Oz
Lion,
family.
Tiger, Bear, and Hank.
And Hank.
All I can hear is the Men in Black when Tommy Lee Jones is talking about the names of the aliens who are just sitting at the desk, and their names are Wee Hank and Bob.
All right. So moving on to one thing. shout out to TCU, the beach volleyball national champions. This is the first time that a school not from California has won the beach volleyball championship. So the beaches of Fort Worth, they have won the beach volleyball championship.
They got the auto bid from the Big 12.
Yeah.
Alongside their other southern counterpart, the Southland auto bid, Boise State.
Yes.
And then who they play? They played Stanford in the Natty, I think. I'll have to check. Either way, congratulations, Horned Frogs.
Congratulations, Horned Frogs. Also, I just want to give a shout out. I realized I didn't say like what my weekend was about because I was just talking about just
back to the Open.
Yeah, back to the Open.
Loyola Marymount is who they played in the final. Congratulations.
Yes, of California too, right?
Yes.
Yes. I just want to give a shout out to the kids that I coached, the Coyotes. They defeated the Tornadoes for our first win of the season. We won 2-1. It was a battle tooth and nail. We had the 8 a.m. game where the sun was in our face, but I brought sunglasses for our goalie this time.
Ooh.
I was ready. Coach was ready. We were up 1-0 at halftime. It was 1-1 after 3. And then in the dying seconds, one of our players attempted a shot on goal, and the defense, not the goalie, just basically blocked it down like Luis Suarez in the World Cup against Ghana. And my kiddo stepped up and hit the penalty to win the game. So
hell yeah!
Coyotes win 2-1. Everybody celebrated. Like the parents, like after the game, the parents wanted me to go through the tunnel, like over the hands for the win, which was pretty cool. That was awesome. And then I followed it up by going to SeaWorld, and me and my kiddo rode the Texas Stingray. He was like 2 inches taller than the lowest possible thing, and it's the fastest wooden roller coaster.
There's roller coasters at SeaWorld?
Yeah, they got roller coasters at SeaWorld. It's nuts. There was a lot of coasters.
I have not been to a SeaWorld in so long.
I did the River Rapids thing too, and I got soaked. It was great. It was a lot of fun. But moving on to the next thing here. Joey, how did the Grand Prix of Miami go? Or is it the Miami Grand Prix?
It's the sponsor Miami Grand Prix.
Okay, what's the sponsor?
I think it's like crypto something.
Home Field Apparel.
Home Field Apparel.
Home Field Apparel Miami Grand Prix.
Yes.
It was a sprint race weekend, which is they have a smaller race on Saturday before the big race on Sunday for something like half points. And Lance Stroll, who has had a tough time of it over the last little bit, is still somehow 10 points up on his teammate, former world champion Fernando Alonso. And Brigit, I am biased. Would you like to help me describe what happened to Lance Stroll on Saturday?
Oh boy. I don't want to say that he got lucky, but it was definitely a moment of when you least expect it. Holy shit, is that Lance Stroll in the points?
Yeah. He started in 15th or something, and then you're watching everything else happen in the race because it was only 12 laps of actual racing, and there was a couple of crashes and a couple of the contenders were spinning out. Then you look up and is that Lance Stroll in 6th place?
He just correct me if I'm wrong. He just barely managed to avoid the chaos of everything and just there he is in 6th.
Yeah, and then ended up in 5th because someone got disqualified after the race.
Yeah, he's been doing so poorly in qualifying that he's just a back marker the whole time. And yesterday, there he is, just in the points, just hanging out.
Lance Stroll has kind of become the mascot of Too Fast, Too Sickos because I am Canadian. He's the one I root for because of that. But he is just he's a Nepo baby who is in a weird space where, despite being a Nepo baby and getting probably a few more chances than he would otherwise deserve, and having a safe seat otherwise, skill level, he's about where he deserves to be. I wouldn't say he deserves to be in a higher team, but he deserves to be in the sport skill level wise. But because he's been in the sport for so long and on these mid teams, people just assume he's an untalented nepo baby who doesn't deserve to be here. So I have been put in the position of the internet's strongest Lance Stroll soldier to defend this man who does not need my defending. So we have noticed a thing, and this is Michigan State teams of old used to do this, where Lance Stroll, the second that the consensus in the media is that he needs to be replaced and he's going to be fired, he just pulls out a 6th place or a 5th place out of nowhere, and then it quiets the critics for like just long enough that he can get another one. So Lance Stroll, when you least expect it, is the term we've used.
So he finished 16th, though, right?
That was in the Grand Prix on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
The Saturday race, he finished 5th, which brings in points. And if you look at the standings, his teammate, who is supposed to be the number 1 driver, the championship contender from the team, former world champion Fernando Alonso, has 0 points, and Lance Stroll, I believe, now has 12.
Okay.
So
it's the sprint race. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then in the Grand Prix, he started in 19th and was sitting in 11th for the longest time. Ended up low because of a bad pit stop, but yeah.
Okay. The Miami
Ferrari team radio was also very funny.
Yes.
They went back to the old me, and they kept fucking up the strategy. And Lewis Hamilton was getting very cranky on the radio. Let me pull up the exact quote because it was absolutely fantastic. Where
I don't know something about T.
Yeah. So what happened was Lewis kept saying. So in Formula One racing, you have 2 cars on your team, and when 2 cars are next to each other and the car behind is going faster and will probably pass eventually, they'll usually make a call where you'll switch places in the cars so that the faster cars in front first, they can go catch the person in front of them or avoid being caught from behind. And this is basically how you'll go. So Lewis is asking a couple of times, hey, we need to switch. I'm behind and I'm a lot faster. And he's assuming that Charles is saying no. But what's actually happening is Ferrari's not even asking Charles. They're just they're basically waiting and thinking. They're taking their Italian time, they're having some espressos, and they're thinking about what to do.
Taking their Italian time.
Yeah. And Lewis keeps asking, what am I going to do? And he references that back in the Chinese race, he said, hey, we need to switch, and they switched when he was in front. So he says, listen, in China, I go out of the way when we're on a different strategy. And then then they finally go, fine, we'll switch the cars. And this is the first time Leclerc's even been asked. And he says, yeah, no problem. And Lewis just goes, guys, have a tea break while you're at it. Come on. And then eventually they switch. It doesn't work, so they switch back. And he's still grumpy. And he goes, okay. And then the Williams is behind you. And he goes, should I switch with him too? So, and this is 6 races in. So Ferrari team unity is going great.
It's going great. It's going great, you guys. All right.
Katie was there and caused this.
Perfect.
Katie and Melanie was there.
Yeah. I think we may try to talk to Katie on our Tuesday record. So
yeah, Katie had really good seats. You guys should talk to her.
Yeah, I was trying to get her on, but she was not able to get back home in time to pod. So, I
wasn't able to follow a lot of stuff going on this weekend because of my travel. I was kind of hoping that Mercedes would do well while I was renting a Mercedes, so I could make the argument that Mercedes should just have me drive a Mercedes all the time for good luck.
They did fine.
I mean, George got a podium. Chaos happens on the field, and George ends up on a podium, and the world spins on its axis at 23.2 degrees.
Breaking news.
Breaking news. No, Sovereignty wins a muddy Kentucky Derby. Nothing much more to write home about that. Apparently, Sovereignty defeats journalism. That's all we got to say.
And defeats Admire Daytona, the best name in the field this year. The Japanese horse, so I assume it's been named after the arcade game.
Sure.
Daytona.
So Brigit has a game for us.
I do.
Hit it, Rockapella.
Hit it, Rockapella.
Okay, you guys are free to hit the music.
Oh, do we have the
I'm
music?
gonna get without.
It's long enough. I'm sure the copyright's lapsed.
Yeah.
Let's see, is that working? Let's see. This is great audio.
It is.
Great audio.
This
what
whole
we have an editor
podcast has
for.
been great audio. It's great. I've
Sickos committee loves dead air.
yeah.
I mean, so I will explain my game. My game is Carmen Sandiego. If you're not familiar with this was a series of properties that were computer games, they were board games, and there was a game show that a lot of us watched on PBS in the early to mid 90s. And there we go, perfect. And the point of the game is there are crooks who work for Carmen Sandiego and Vile, and they go around the world and they steal important things. And tonight we will be playing Where in the College Football World is Carmen Sandiego?
Oh.
And I have
Carmen
a nice,
Sandiego State.
Yeah.
so
Brady
I have
Hope
a nice
did it.
slideshow, but I can't work it with the last one where I have all the things covered up. So you're just going to have to look at my screen. Okay, so tonight we have the Boise State Blue Turf.
Okay.
Your thief is, I'm going to move this over here, is Eartha Brute. Her last known whereabouts, Boise, Idaho. The famous blue turf of Boise State's Lyle Smith Field. It was the first non-green artificial turf in college football. Since its installation in 1986, it has been often duplicated but never replicated by a number of schools, including former Big Sky rival Eastern Washington. The blue also gives Boise a dedicated advantage over opponents with a home record of 182-39 and 14 conference championships. Eartha Brute, tasked with finding a field for the annual Vile football game, bounced around the many college football stadiums until she found the blue turf. Unearthing the unique turf and burgling it. Gumshoes, take back the blue turf and crack today's caper. If I can get back to that window. So here's Eartha Brute. The Boise State Ransack.
Oh no.
I've never seen the show, so I'm excited to figure out what's going on as we go.
I will tell you as we go. We will have a series of pit stops, and you're going to answer a question for each one. I have 3 questions.
Yes.
And each question is worth 10 Acme Creme Bucks. And however you want to write this down, you'll need to write down your answer, and we'll go down the horn.
Okay.
And somebody's got to keep score.
Oh.
I can keep score.
Thank you. Appreciate it. And then we will have a showdown at the end. And whoever wins will stop Eartha Brute. Okay.
Okay.
Eartha took the turf and made her way across the Rocky Mountains to the Colorado School of Mines in Golden, Colorado.
Oh.
Okay, your first question. What is
this
the letter?
score for each? Sorry, is this score for each person individually?
Yeah.
So okay.
Just like whoever, and then just like I always like do an X or whatever.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thank you. So the Colorado School of Mines has a letter on their mountain. What is that letter, and what does it stand for? So I'll give you about 5 more seconds.
Oh man. I'm getting it confused with other mountains that I've seen.
Yeah, I think I may be thinking of. I may be thinking of another football mountain.
Okay. You ready to go?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I will go bottom up. I will go Joey.
Oh, we're doing one at a time? Okay.
Yeah, we're doing one at a time.
I did M for mines.
Okay. Andy?
I was thinking that. I'm going to go V for victory.
Okay. Arthur, what's your answer?
I also put down M is for mines.
Okay. And Commish?
Yeah, I was M for mines. I was not doing well.
Okay. You guys were as close as you could be, so I'm going to give it to you. It was M for minors.
I'll take it. Everybody except
So
me.
everybody but Andy gets a point.
Okay.
Okay, your next question.
I should have stuck with my gut.
You're
like,
okay.
I think it's M.
Your next question. In what D2 conference does this school play?
Oh my god.
Commish is going to know this.
No.
I don't know D2 conferences.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I'm just kind of making one up here, I'll be honest.
I kind of think I know, but I'm not 100% sure.
Won't cost you anything to guess. We're not wagering anything.
No.
Okay. We feel like we're ready to go?
As ready as I will be.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, Joey, what's your answer?
Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, RMAC.
Okay. Andy?
I don't even know if this is a conference, so I'm just going to say the Great Plains Conference.
Okay. Arthur?
Okay, I'm just throwing out because I feel like this came up last week, like a neck sack conference or something. Like that was a word I heard.
Okay. And Commish?
Yeah, I feel like it's the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference also with Joey here. I that's the only one I could really remember in this area.
You are correct. Joey and Commish, you got it. It's the
Yeah.
Rocky Mountain.
I didn't even know that was real. I just made
It's
it up.
real.
It's real. It's real.
It's real. Bart Andrews, one of the videos, he was a coach in I think it was some school in Montana that was in
Maybe
the
that's
RMAC.
where I remembered it from.
Yeah,
I just pulled that out of my subconscious.
that's perfect. I got 2 questions right. This is going okay. I'm gonna find this blue turf, Earth or Brute. I'm
You
finding
coming
this shit.
for.
I'm coming
Okay.
for you. Not really. I'm still not confident at this point.
Okay. Name either of their mascots. Either the costumed or the live mascot.
Oh, I mean, okay, that's easy. I have to. I'll let everybody else think. Uh-oh. Wait, why are we seeing Google here?
Oh.
Who's Googling?
That would be Brigit.
Oh, don't be Googling.
I will not cheat. I wrote down the wrong answer.
Okay.
I didn't write down my answers in case my other screen got shared.
Oh, no.
So I had to remind myself what these ones were.
Okay.
Okay. So, Joey, do you want to go first?
Well, I know it's wrong. I wrote Blasty, but that's the Calgary Flames mascot. Little secondary mascot.
Okay. Andy?
Blaster the Burrow.
Yeah.
Oh!
Yeah.
Arthur?
Yeah, I also had Blaster.
Yeah.
Okay.
Blaster the Burrow.
Blaster the Burrow. Okay.
Yeah.
It was correct. Blaster the Burrow is the Burrow, and then Marvin the Miner is the Miner. I was like, it's M something, and I don't remember what it was.
I almost said Grubby, but that's South Dakota.
Yeah.
School of Mines.
I assume I don't get points for Blasty. So
I will
wrote
give
an
you
X.
points for Blasty. You were close enough.
Yay! Thank you,
Blasty.
benevolent judge.
Okay.
Also, I
Wait,
Googled in the wrong window, so I feel like that's a gimme on that one.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, no, we didn't see it, so we're fine.
Okay, good.
I was
I saw it,
like,
but I had already written it down. At the
who's
bottom.
Googling?
Okay, Eartha then moseyed over to Monroe to hide out at
Oh, God.
the University of Louisiana Monroe.
Oh,
Someone
no.
has an advantage here.
ULM has
Oh no,
mentioned.
I
I'm
tried
probably
to
going
make
to get
this.
it wrong.
I tried to make this difficult. on
This
purpose
is going to
for
be
Commish.
very hard. Like, I'm going to miss everything here. I have a feeling.
They're going to revoke Commish's degree.
They are. I never got the degree here, so we're safe.
See, they got nothing. He's got nothing to lose. Okay.
I got the degree. The actual degree came from UNO, University of New Orleans.
They said no.
That's
Okay.
right.
Question number 1: Is ULM a land grant, sea grant, or space grant school?
I don't like that. I don't like that little chuckle.
You can ask me last here if you want. We're mentioning ULM on the podcast again.
I tried to find ones that were like appropriately sickos,
Mm.
like not too mainstream, but not too sickos.
I've actually brought this up on the podcast before.
Brought what about mentioning ULM or like
Well,
the
like
appropriate level of sickos?
the question you asked.
Oh, like the sea
Yeah.
grant
Mhm.
schools? Yeah.
No.
I know we've talked about it before, which is why like I saw it and I was like, "Ooh, there's my first question."
I love how it's always the stupid library, man. I swear.
hmm
Like when I first went there, they just had finished the library, so like the library is on everything, like ULM related.
Yeah, this
Like,
was the
damn
majority
library.
of things that I could find for ULM, like
It's the
nice
library
pictures
that's
that would fit.
right on the damn edge of the bayou. It's just the freaking library. I swear.
Okay, nice work, Joey.
Good job,
And
Joey.
he's back.
All right.
From hearing you guys, I realized I was wrong twice.
It's okay. Joey, what do you think? What is your answer?
I originally wrote land grant and then crossed it out and wrote space grant.
Okay, Andy, what's your answer?
I also wrote Space Grant.
Okay, Arthur.
Yeah, I mean, so this is tough because I know they're known for water skiing, right? So I put down C, but I don't know.
Okay, and then Commish.
Space Grant.
It was Space Grant.
Fucking go.
Like Joey's like on fire. He's like, ah.
See, Joey, this is what. So this is like partially why I wanted to play this game, because I was like, I would have killed at this game as a kid,
Yeah.
and like seeing the kids missing like the easy ones, I'm like just screaming at my TV
How
like
dare
8 years
you!
old.
Son of a
How could
bitch,
you
South
miss that?
Africa's down there.
Honduras is down there.
Yeah, that was me watching Legends of the Hidden Temple. That was my
Yeah,
that
it's
was
the
my
same
era.
thing. It's the same thing. Yeah, my kids started watching Legends of the Hidden Temple.
Well, to be
which
fair,
is-
I was watching Legends of the Hidden Temple reruns on the former channel Nickelodeon Games and Sports.
Well, yeah, that was the good one because you got
Mhm.
Guts, Global Guts. Anyway, next
It's the only
question.
channel I ever watched.
What team? Oh wait, how many Southland conferences does ULM have? 2, 4, or 5?
Wait. What? Southland Conference champion?
Titles?
Thomas titles, yeah.
In what?
Sorry, in football. Your options are 2, 4, or 5.
I think I know it. It's gonna be. I'm torn though.
I tried to make this a little harder.
Oh, it's difficult.
Okay, good. Like not too hard, but like
The first one
you gotta
I
think about it.
knew. This one is like.
It's
I
a thinker.
think I know. But
This
I'm
is
not
what I was
100%
doing this morning, just going down Wikipedia trying to find little facts.
I'm not 100% sure,
turn
but
into
I
a question.
think I know.
Okay. Joey, what you think?
2.
2. Andy says?
I said 4.
Okay. Arthur says?
4.
All right. Commish?
I went with 4 also.
It is 4.
Yeah.
4 Southland Conference football titles. And last question is...
Always go for the middle. God damn it.
It's true. What team is the most successful in terms of college sports? Football, baseball, or water skiing?
I mean. Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
Joey?
Water skiing.
Water skiing. Andy?
Water skiing.
Arthur?
Yeah, I mean, I mentioned water skiing like
Yes, you
a
did.
minute ago.
Right.
And Commish has...
Yeah, I have water skiing.
Yep.
Do I get a bonus point for 29 national championships?
No, but you get the smug self-satisfaction that you know how many
Okay.
they have.
I'm just waiting for ULM to like get home field so I could have a 29 time national champions water skiing shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Home field, ULM, if you're listening, license them already. Damn it, I swear. I'm gonna, John Hartwell, if you're listening, AD, do it.
All
I'm
right,
ready.
next.
Let's go.
All right. Eartha then made her way up the Mississippi and across Lake Michigan to Eastern Michigan University.
Oh no!
Where
your
she dumped the blue field
She
for the
dumped
much
the blue
cooler
field
gray
for the
field.
gray field.
Mm-hmm. Right in the lake. All right. Your first question. Spell Ypsilanti.
Oh my god!
I will say, when I was first like making friends with my best friend, and we were talking about Michigan, she challenged me to a Michigan place name spelling contest, and this was number 1.
God, no! Oh my god!
Listener, you are either at wherever you're listening to this, on a walk, in your car. You're either screaming the answer or you're screaming in pain.
Or both.
I mean, probably both.
My god! This is mean.
Sorry.
All right, I mean, I'm ready to fail.
All
dude.
right. I mean, you guys are doing better than I expected. I will say
Okay.
that. Like, you're
All right.
getting a lot more of them.
I'm ready to fail.
All right, is
this one.
everybody
Let me
ready?
Get this out the way.
I am ready.
Okay.
All right,
Joey,
all
go
right.
ahead.
I just went as phonetically as possible. Ypsilanti.
Okay. Andy?
I did the same as Joey.
Okay. Arthur?
I think that's what I wrote down. Hang on.
That's
yeah, I had that.
That's the exact same I did too. We all fail or we all get it right.
Ypsilanti. Ypsilanti.
Let's
Yeah!
go!
Let's
Everybody
go!
wins.
Hell yeah! Chris
All right, your
Creighton,
next
we're coming for
question.
you, baby.
This school was formerly known as Michigan State Normal School.
It was.
What's a normal school?
A not normal school? No,
I mean, it's not normal now.
Do you think when those existed, there were people who were studying there and they went, "This normal school, it's anything but normal"?
Nah. they definitely would have had, if they had like an ESPN football game at the time, and then there's the commercial they run at halftime. They would definitely use that line, Joey.
Mm-hmm.
They'd be like, Michigan State normal school, it's anything but normal. And then there's a graphic of like them doing normal college activities.
Yeah, and it's 6-4 in the third quarter. The game's on a Thursday.
That's right. Michigan State normal school, Maction.
Joey, what's a normal school?
Teachers College.
Okay, Andy?
Teachers College.
Arthur?
College for training teachers.
Yep. And Commish?
Yeah, teachers
school. It's a teachers college.
Yeah.
We are either in it with the fans, where like the readers, where we're all getting it right together on a great time, or we're windmill dunking on the readers right now.
Yeah. Probably.
Okay. And your last question is, how many times in their history for football, but for all sports, but we're focusing on football, has EMU competed as an independent? 4, 6, or 8?
Like years?
How many times? So they've switched conferences a number of times. How many times have they been an independent?
So like if there's 2 years in like consecutively where they're independent.
So like one conference independent, one conference independent. How many times has that happened?
What were the options again?
4, 6, or 8.
I think I'm missing my first one here. Very quiet. I think we're ready.
I'm holding my pen into the camera to show that I am not writing.
Sorry, I muted myself for a second.
I'm using Notepad, so because I'm in the closet and I don't have any pen and paper.
I'm like, however you want to keep track, that's fine.
I'm doing it.
I just wanted to make sure you guys had something ready to go. Okay.
Yeah, I'm using the Notes app.
I usually do that as well. Okay, Joey, what's your answer?
4. I went against my logic again.
Andy?
I split the middle. I said 6.
Okay. Arthur?
I also said 6 because it's in the middle.
Okay. And Commish?
I went 4.
It is 6.
Oh. Like I said.
The clip of me earlier saying always pick the middle is repeating in my ear right now.
Yep.
Okay. I didn't think it was 6, but
I realized I put the correct answer twice in the middle.
I originally had 8, and then I switched it to 4 at the last second, so I was wrong twice.
All right.
Right.
Last. Having nowhere else to hide, Eartha took the turf to what she thought was its homeland. The Blue Ridge Mountains.
Oh, no.
Your final showdown. Boone, North Carolina. There are 8 places in Boone where you might find Eartha Brute. They are the Blue Ridge Parkway, the Daniel Boone Native Gardens, Elk Knob State Park, Daniel Boone Amphitheater, Kid Brewer Stadium, the Holmes Center, Tweetsie Railroad, and Grandfather Mountain. So the Blue Ridge Parkway, scenic drive for the beautiful, beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains. The Daniel Boone Native Gardens, containing over 200 species of plants native to North Carolina. Elk Knob State Park, with miles of hiking trails and backcountry campsites. The Daniel Boone Amphitheater, home to Horn in the West, a yearly production set during the Revolutionary War. Kid Brewer Stadium, the scenic home to App State football. The Home Center, where App State basketball plays. Tweetsie Railroad, a family-friendly amusement park featuring a Wild West theme and the Deer Park Zoo. And Grandfather Mountain, home to America's highest suspension bridge, the Wilson Center for Nature Discovery, and miles of hiking trails. So, Joey, if you've never played this game, you have to find these things in order. You have to find the turf, the warrant, and Eartha Brute. In that order. So It's just a memory game. So we'll start from the top. Commish, you'll go first. Where do you think these
where I
things
think
are
the
hiding?
turf is?
So you're looking for the turf, but obviously you're going to find some other things as we go along.
Okay.
But you have 8 choices to find 3 things.
Okay. So I need to find 3 things out of these 8.
Yeah, but you have to find them in order. You have to find the turf, the warrant, and
Oh.
Eartha Brute.
Okay.
So if you find the warrant and then Eartha, doesn't count.
So I gotta have it in the right order.
Yep.
Okay. Oh, I feel like this is a trap, but I believe the turf would be brought to Kid Brewer Stadium.
Okay.
Okay.
Nope.
No. Okay.
Nope.
I'm done.
Okay. Arthur.
So I'm still not 100% sure how this works.
So just guess. So if you so let's say so Kid Brewer Stadium, let's say the turf was there, you'd get another turn to try to find the warrant. And then if you found the warrant, you'd get the last turn to try to find Eartha Brute. But you have to find them in order.
I'm going Tweetsy Railroad.
Okay.
Nope. Oh.
Nope. Clicked back. Tweetsy Railroad.
No. Okay.
Okay, Andy?
Let's go Grandfather Mountain.
Oh.
You found the turf. You get another turn.
Whoa.
Where are you going next?
If I was a warrant, where would I be hiding? Give me the amphitheater. Daniel Boone Amphitheater, please.
Ooh. Okay.
Okay. Joey.
All right. So I have to find the turf first, correct?
You have to find the turf first.
You know what that is.
So
you know where the
Grandfather
turf
Mountain.
is. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And then State Park. Oh, it's teed up for you, Commish.
Yep.
It's teed up for you, Commish.
Okay.
Okay.
Commish.
All right. So Grandfather Mountain is where the turf is.
Yep.
I'm like torn between. There's 2 that it could be. Well, 3 it could be. Since the turf is blue, I'm going Blue Ridge Parkway. Damn it! All right. Son of a bitch.
Okay.
I missed it.
Arthur.
Oh, I'm so bad. I'm not gonna survive now. It's over. Somebody's got it. Yeah, it's over. I lost.
Somebody's going to get it. Right,
Damn
let's see. Arthur, what's your guess?
So I'm supposed to say Grandfather Mountain, right?
Yes.
Yep, that's your first
You gotta
one.
find
so
the
Grandfather
warrant,
Mountain.
which is the next one.
Now you got to find the next one.
Has anyone gone amphitheater yet? That's where I'm going.
Is that where you're going?
Yeah.
Oh, Andy's got it. Winner.
I don't know if I do.
If he remembers.
If he remembers, if not, Joey's got it then.
It's like, did we ever find? Did we find the warrant? I don't know.
No, we have
haven't
not found the
yet.
warrant.
No,
Yeah.
we found
yeah.
Eartha Brute and we
Okay.
found the turf, but we're looking for the
Yeah.
warrant.
Damn
Okay.
it. I'm mad.
So yeah, give me Grandfather Mountain, the
Okay.
turf.
Yeah.
Let's go to the Holmes Center.
Oh, it's it. Joey's got it. He's the winner.
I need to lock in because there's a chance I screw this up very
Oh
horribly.
my god.
Okay,
Screw
lock
it up.
in.
Screw it up.
Grandfather Mountain.
Screw it up.
I should have written down what I guessed before.
Mm.
Native Gardens.
Damn it.
The
State
warrant.
Park.
Damn. All right.
Ooh, the
Joey
chase.
wins.
You got it.
Joey wins.
Joey wins.
Joey wins.
So, readers, the turf was at Grandfather Mountain. The warrant was at the Daniel Boone Native Gardens, and Eartha Brute was at Elk Knob State Park.
This made me wanna-
Congratulations, Gumshoe.
This made me want to visit Boone, North Carolina.
It's a good place. It's on my list. I need to get there sometime.
I do.
I have family out there. I should go.
Damn it. I went to the
I don't even
Blue
know
Ridge.
what the Crime Bucks did, but yay.
Well, usually what the crime bucks do is you'll like pare down who gets into each round. But obviously, I'm not going to do that here. I just wanted to see who was going to get the most points.
For those curious, we all tied at 7.
That's what I figured.
No, sorry. Commish had 8.
Okay,
And I
hey.
lost the
I had
final
8.
battle though.
Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I had 7. You're right.
Yeah, everybody had 7 except Commish had 8.
I had 8
Okay.
if you count finding Eartha Brute.
I'm upset. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, it's just like I was between those two, and I was like, Blue Turf, Blue Ridge, do it.
We
And
literally went as long on that as we physically could have.
Yeah,
Essentially.
which is I'm glad because I was thinking about adding another question and I was like, that's probably going to make it too long. But look at
perfect.
that, we did it.
We did it, folks. Thank you for listening for the Sickos Committee podcast. We ran the damn ball. Triple option. It was definitely a 13-minute, 54-second drive. Took it in for a touchdown. Thank you again for listening for the Sickos Committee podcast. We appreciate it. Download on your parents' phone and just have them question you why you put this on my phone. We'll definitely love it. I'll leave you with this last tidbit of information. The transfer portal has closed, but General Booty is still in the portal.
We left him behind.
That's right. Nobody has made the booty call yet.